Welcome to Our Communiversity today, sponsored by Pendleton Community Bank and Cucumber and Company, a community affairs program from West Virginia University Institute of Technology in Beckley, hosted by Dr. T. Ramon Stuart, president of West Virginia University Institute of Technology, working to make a difference in Southern West Virginia. Guest opinions expressed on this program may not represent the opinions of West Virginia University Institute of Technology, Southern Communications, or its sponsors. And now, with today's program, here's Dr. Stewart.
Welcome to Our Communiversity today. I'm Dr. Ramon Stuart, president of WVU Tech here in Beckley, and I'm thankful that you chose to be with us as we explore Our Communiversity. As always, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that the community is the university and the university is the community. And with that, when we work together with each other and for each other, we have the opportunity to ensure that all ships rise with the tide. And something that believes in that more than anybody I know is none other than Pendleton Community Bank, one of the proud sponsors of Our Communiversity today, the original founding sponsor of the show, because they know that when a community bank meets its community, when a community bank understands its community, it can help its community not just grow, but also flourish. And today I'm so excited that we have the new CEO of Pendleton Community Bank, Neil Hayslett, in studio with us. And we're going to explore his vision for how Pendleton Community Bank is going to continue to serve Our Communiversity. So as always on this show, our goal is to ask and answer two questions. And that's simply, why not us? And why not now? So ladies and gentlemen, right after this break, we'll be back with more Our Communiversity today on News Talk WWNR.
Bank with purpose and Golden Bear pride. At Pendleton Community Bank, our WVU Tech Affinity debit card does more than make purchases. It makes a difference. Every swipe supports the William Bill Benn Student Success Fund, helping WVU Tech students facing financial hardships stay on track to achieve their dreams. Show your school spirit and help shape the future, one transaction at a time. Visit yourbank.bank to get started today. Pendleton Community Bank, here for students, here for community, here for you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
If you want a real cool website, I'll tell you what to do. Call them cats at Cucumber and they'll build a site for you. Our people are so friendly and our updates are the fastest. All it's gonna cost $100 plus taxes.
These cats build, host, and update for just $100 a month.
Oh yeah!
Find out how at 304-250-0123 or at cucumberandcompany.com.
Discover WVU Tech right in your backyard. With 6 ABET accredited engineering programs ranked among the top 100 for engineering and nursing nationwide, WVU Tech offers the best return on investment in West Virginia. Our small, supportive campus is home to high-demand programs in fields like hospitality and culinary, chemical forensics, and the only 4-year construction management degree in West Virginia. Learn more about all the exciting things happening at Tech at wvutech.edu today.
Welcome back to Our Communiversity today. Again, I'm visiting with the new CEO of Pendleton Community Bank, Neil Hayslett, to talk about his new role and a vision he has for the bank here in Southern West Virginia. Neil, how are you today?
I'm doing great, Dr. Stewart.
Yes, so it's so good to have you here. So good. I've worked with you, Neil, as the president of Pendleton Community Bank, and now you are the CEO. How do you feel about that?
I'm excited. It's been a pleasure to work with Bill Loving the last 6 years and feel like that's been a great add-on to my career, being associated with somebody as strong and community-oriented as he is. And so I'm just excited about where we are as a bank and the things we can accomplish in the future based on the legacy he's left behind.
Yeah, and so you mentioned the internationally known and locally respected Bill Loving, who served as the president and CEO of Pendleton Community Bank for almost 26 years. And Bill is a beloved Beckley boy. Are you a Beckley boy too?
I am not a Beckley boy.
So tell me more about yourself.
I grew up in Covington, Virginia, so maybe an hour from here, I guess, but have spent most of my life in the Shenandoah Valley. and have been at Pendleton Community Bank for 6 years now, and have loved it. It's a great culture, very committed to our employees, to our communities, and it's a great way to kind of finish out my career.
Yeah. Well, and you talked about culture, and I was always told that culture eats strategy for breakfast.
Absolutely.
And Pendleton Community Bank being a West Virginia bank, and that culture. Tell me more about that culture, that grit and resiliency of Pendleton Community Bank.
Well, of course, Pendleton Community Bank's been around since 1925. I actually started in Marlinton, West Virginia, and then moved to Franklin, which is in Pendleton County, in 1937. So when you talk about grit, obviously a bank that started in 1925 survived the Great Depression when literally thousands of banks failed. So, that talks about, grit right there. But then also, Pendleton County has had some economic struggles, industries that closed, et cetera. And the bank has always been, very sound, very well capitalized. But, that kind of breeds into the culture, being able to, withstand ups and downs over the years. And then slowly the bank has expanded. From 1925 until 1999, it was just one office. But since 1999, we've grown to 15 total offices, with a 16th under construction currently in Daniels.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that, though, that expansion here in a minute. But as you go through and you look at it again, you say you've been with Pendleton Community Bank for 6 years. And now you're embarking on your journey as the CEO of the bank. How does one get to the point where they could be eligible or honored to be the CEO of a bank?
Well, I was speaking with the dean of your business school earlier about the fact that my journey started as a banking intern years ago at a bank that's now part of Wells Fargo. At that time, it was a different bank that's been through a number of name changes. And I started as an intern, which led me to part-time employment, which led me to a management training program. And then I've just progressed from there over the years, picked up a master's in accounting and was in public accounting for a while. All of my billable hours virtually were to community banks. So, that's the world that I've lived in for the last 40 years is community banks, and just really love what they represent. Not only, the economic impact they make through their employees, but the economic impact through lending to families and businesses. But then you also have the volunteer hours that our employees put out into the community, the donations we make to nonprofits. So I feel like we live out the idea of being part of the community every day, honestly.
See, I think it's so powerful. You talked about from internship to CEO. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the many things that we do at WVU Tech with Pendleton Community Bank, our premier Communiversity partner, is we work to make sure that young people in Southern West Virginia have an opportunity to not only get educated, but also graduate, be employed, so they can live, work, play, and raise a family here. And we had a young man that was going through our information systems program, and he started as an intern with the bank, and the bank had the opportunity to see his skills, that high quality education that he got from WVU Tech, and now he's a full-time employee. And we could be looking up one day, it wouldn't be the traditional route, but he's on the path that he could be a Neil Hayslett. He could be the CEO of a bank and go ahead and grow. And so I think that's so powerful for our listeners to remind or be reminded it's not how you start the game, it's how you finish. And so now, Neil, now that you got what you want, do you want what you got? Tell me what it's like sitting in the seat. And to the audience listening, Neil's face just lit up when I asked him, now that you got what you want, do you want what you got? Tell us about being the CEO.
Well, I'm still learning that role. It's been 8 days now, but so far I'm enjoying it. It's I won't say revitalize my career, but it certainly gets you excited about what's the next chapter, what's the next step. So, I've told internal staff I'm not going to make a lot of changes versus what Bill did. I may make some tweaks, but I want to continue the vision and the growth that we've had, particularly down here. I mean, we consider ourselves to have 3 regions. We have a northern West Virginia region, we call it, that's our home office, Franklin, to the north. We have a Virginia market, and then we have the southern region. And I feel like we have tremendous growth opportunity down here as we become more known. Certainly we have roots that date back 100 or more years through the Bank of Mount Hope that we acquired just about 7 years ago. But still, as a name, Pendleton Community Bank, we're becoming familiar. And certainly the Communiversity partnership with West Virginia Tech is vital to that. We truly appreciate that relationship, and we're trying to build out this market. We have the office here in Beckley. We have one in Mount Hope, Oak Hill. We just recently opened about 6 months ago in Summersville. We've been in Marlinton for the last 25 years, I believe. And then we have an office under construction in Daniels. So we continue to try to build out locations to be more convenient for customers to be able to bank with us. And, it just continues to enhance our impact on the community as we have more relationships in the community, both with the college as well as businesses and individuals.
Yeah, and I think that's so powerful, Neil, because you talked about engaging with the community, but you also talked about your history with community banks. Tell me why community banks are important to this region and really all 3 of the regions that the bank covers.
Well, I've read a statistic that says that if community banks were to completely disappear, there would be 1/3 of the counties in the entire country without a bank. And, if you look at the impact that a community bank can have through, again, sponsorships of school programs, other charitable events, through the employment base, through the lending we do, a lot of those communities would struggle without a good community bank. And so it is a partnership. You see some communities that, maybe lose a large industry, and shortly after that they lose a community bank. And you can drive through those towns, and it's frankly depressing to see, the lack of activity, the lack of engagement. So, we feel like it's, that's one of the central needs, is a community bank to help breathe life into those local communities, especially smaller towns.
I think that's so powerful. Small enough to care, but big enough to take you anywhere. Your bank for generations, Pendleton Community Bank. Again, ladies and gentlemen, in studio, Neil Hayslett, the new CEO of Pendleton Community Bank. We're going to take a short break, so stay tuned to News Talk WWNR for more Our Communiversity Today.
Discover WVU Tech right in your backyard. With 6 ABET accredited engineering programs ranked among the top 100 for engineering and nursing nationwide, WVU Tech offers the best return on investment in West Virginia. Our small, supportive campus is home to high-demand programs in fields like hospitality and culinary, chemical forensics, and the only 4-year construction management degree in West Virginia. Learn more about all the exciting things happening at Tech at wvutech.edu today.
If you want a real cool website, I'll tell you what to do. Call them cats at Cucumber and they'll build a site for you. Our people are so friendly and our updates are the fastest. All it's gonna cost $100 plus taxes.
These cats build, host, and update for just $100 a month.
Oh yeah!
Find out how at 304-250-0123 or at cucumberandcompany.com.
Bank with purpose and Golden Bear pride. At Pendleton Community Bank, our WVU Tech Affinity debit card does more than make purchases. It makes a difference. Every swipe supports the William Bill Benn Student Success Fund, helping WVU Tech students facing financial hardships stay on track to achieve their dreams. Show your school spirit and help shape the future, one transaction at a time. Visit yourbank.bank to get started today. Pendleton Community Bank, here for students, here for community, here for you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Welcome back to Our Communiversity today. Again in studio is Neil Hayslett, the new CEO of Pendleton Community Bank, to discuss his vision for how community banks like Pendleton Community Bank can help make our communiversity better. Now, speaking of community banks, Neil, you talked about the power of them, and I think they're small enough to care, but big enough to help you go anywhere. And the tagline for PCB, your bank for generations, I think is so powerful because it's speaking to that legacy. It's speaking to the contributions that are made in the societies or the communities where the bank is. And so the ability to grow that and develop it, I think is so profound. But one of the things before I got to know community banking, although I grew up in the free state of McDowell County, one of the biggest well-known community banks out there ever is the Bank of Keystone. And that's a whole different story with Billy Cherry and J. Knox McConnell and stuff like that. But McDowell County National Bank was the first bank I ever put money in from my paper route when I started delivering the Grit newspaper at 8 years old. So that kind of community banking, that kind of banking for generations, you're planting seeds to water and nurture and go forward. But one of the things as I grew professionally, traveling nationally, internationally, and all of that kind of stuff, I thought I had to have a big bank, a regional bank, or a national bank. I didn't think McDowell County National Bank or some of the other little banks could do the things that I thought needed to be done. But is that the case?
That is not the case. I mean, we'd like to think that we can meet the customer wherever their needs are. So if a customer wants to walk into our lobby, talk to a person face to face, we have the staffing to do that. But if a customer wants to, adopt more remote ways of banking, we've got this, sophisticated mobile apps, just like the larger banks do. We've recently rolled out what is called ITMs, which means interactive teller machines. Some people call them video tellers. You can pull up to the ITM or walk up to the ITM, use it just like you would a typical ATM if you just want, some cash. But if you need an employee assisted transaction, you can punch a button and one of our remote tellers pops up online. They're all bank employees, all within our markets that are available to serve you. It's allowed us to extend our hours of operation. The ITMs operate 11 hours a day from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. and 6 hours on Saturday, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m., which, helps people, either on the way to work or on the way home that can't, get to the bank in normal traditional hours. We also have fully remote online account opening. So, if you want to open an account at 2 a.m., you can do that. We have an account called the Casasa account that refunds refunds ATM charges no matter where you're traveling. Mm-hmm. So a lot of options that compete very well, with any national or regional bank.
Yeah, and I've been able to change my cards out for that because of the different opportunities. And it's so funny. I was recently engaged in a conversation with our executive producer, Lola Reiser, and she was raving about her interactions with the ITM. Having a real person, but they not necessarily be sitting physically in front of you, I think is powerful for the bank. And you talked about some of the other accounts. And one of the things that I'm proud of with the bank is the generation of the Cub Club savings account. again, in this vein of your bank for generations or so, you can take in the southern region, you can go through and you can start a club savings account with $25, I think it is. And when the young people, the Cubs, the future Golden Bears, the future leaders of this state, of this nation, this world, every time they make good grades in school or have perfect attendance, there's a little reward for them. What's that reward?
So any student that achieves AB honor roll for a 6-week or a 9-week semester, or has perfect attendance for the school year, we'll give them $5 when they come in and present their report card. Mm-hmm. So, over the course of the year, they can, accumulate, quite a bit into that account in addition to what they may contribute. And we also, believe in financial education. So we have a partnership with a company that provides materials that we can either provide to the teachers, and these materials qualify for standards of learning and things of that nature. So we can either provide those materials, or we'll have staff go in and present to the students on financial topics that are age appropriate. Either elementary level all the way up to high school level.
Yeah, and I think that educational component is so important. I've watched some of the work that people like Karen Ewing here in the southern region are doing, educating people. I've even seen her work with college students, and I've had a couple of them come to me and tell me that they've gotten, a couple people have graduated, have gotten their first home loan through Pendleton Community Bank. And so that notion of your bank for generations, I think, is critical. But with that, again, the bank has 3 different regions. Obviously, the southern region growing like a weed. You've talked about the recent groundbreaking in Daniel's location, just finished cutting, and I was up with the mayor of Summersville the other day, Mayor Harper. He was just raving about Pendleton Community Bank being in Summersville. Tell me your thoughts about where the southern region is, and more importantly, where it can go.
Well, we have a great foundation here because of the affiliation with what was the Bank of Mount Hope. So it's always easier to start from a base rather than open what they call de novo branch. You're going from zero. So that base has helped us, gain traction, gain familiarity more quickly, maybe than you would if you were just forging into a completely new market. So, we feel like there is a lot of untapped growth opportunity down here. After, we acquired the 3 offices, there were retirements, et cetera. We retained all the employees, that wanted to stay, but there was retirements, turnover. So it's taken us some time. COVID came at a really bad time. You're trying to integrate staff and culture of 2 banks right when COVID hit. So we're, a few years beyond that. We feel like the culture is meshed at this point. Everybody understands the concept of, your bank for generations. We've built, you referenced Karen Ewing, we've, built a really good staff out down here. We've also added a courier service recently that'll pick up deposits from commercial businesses. So again, that idea of trying to meet people, where they need with the appropriate services and with good, well-trained staff. And so, our goal is just to continue to do the right things in the community, whether it's Communiversity or whether it's assisting other nonprofits, in the market.
Yeah. And that's so powerful, thinking through Communiversity, working to look at the community, working with the Salvation Army, helping provide food to their food trucks and food bank. But also, one of the big activities for the bank here in Raleigh County is the Christmas parade. Once Santa comes out of the parade with Mrs. Claus, the bank opens up the particular location for free pictures with Santa, and their kids just running around and bursting at the seams, giveaways. Those are the kinds of things that I I've seen from the bank that really make me inspired by the bank's commitment to service to others. Now, when we look at the future, Daniels, West Virginia, man, there are banks going up everywhere in Daniels, West Virginia, which I think is such a powerful thing. You got the new Z-Way, that kind of stuff. What is Pendleton Community Bank going to be to that side of Raleigh County?
Well, we already have a certain customer base out in that direction. So, I think location-wise, we're going to be at a great location right before people coming from the Glade Spring area would get onto the new Z-Way. So we're going to be convenient for commuters both in the morning and in the evening. And we feel like it, again, adds to our community impact, being another location that creates convenience for our customers.
So out of that particular convenience, any neat little things as part of that build that's going to be there for the community to enjoy?
Well, a couple things. You've already mentioned the ITMs. We are going to have 2 drive-up ITMs. We'll have 2 ITMs in the lobby. Staffing will probably be 4 or 5 people that, if you don't want to avail yourself of the technology of the ITM, they can still assist you in a traditional banking role. But then the other new twist there is we're going to have a little coffee shop.
Okay.
And with the coffee shop, it'll whatever that we make off the coffee shop is going to come back into the community.
That is excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, again in studio with us today, the new CEO of Pendleton Community Bank. We're going to take a short break, so stick with News Talk WWNR as we close out this edition of Our Communiversity today.
Discover WVU Tech right in your backyard. With 6 ABET accredited engineering programs ranked among the top 100 for engineering and nursing nationwide, WVU Tech offers the best return on investment in West Virginia. Our small, supportive campus is home to high-demand programs in fields like hospitality and culinary, chemical forensics, and the only 4-year construction management degree in West Virginia. Learn more about all the exciting things happening at Tech at wvutech.edu today.
Bank with purpose and Golden Bear pride. At Pendleton Community Bank, our WVU Tech Affinity debit card does more than make purchases. It makes a difference. Every swipe supports the William Bill Benn Student Success Fund, helping WVU Tech students facing financial hardships stay on track to achieve their dreams. Show your school spirit and help shape the future, one transaction at a time. Visit yourbank.bank to get started today. Pendleton Community Bank, here for students, here for community, here for you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Welcome back to Our Communiversity today. Again, I want to thank our guests, none other than Neil Hayslett, who is the new CEO of Pendleton Community Bank, for not only sharing his time, but also his talent and commitment for community banking here in West Virginia and beyond. You know, it's so special for me to have someone from Pendleton Community Bank here because they were the first to believe. They were the first to believe in this concept that the community should be the university and the university should be the community. As I go through and proudly utilize my Tech Golden Bear co-branded Pendleton Community Bank debit card, I'm always reminded that every time I swipe that card, at no cost to me, there's an opportunity to put some young person through college because of the sharing of the exchange fees. That type of commitment to Our Communiversity, that type of commitment to people in Southern West Virginia and throughout the bank's footprint is the commitment that I'm proud to hear and see from the new CEO of Pendleton Community Bank. Because at the end of the day, all of us are stronger than one of us. And when we can leverage our community and banks that are committed to banking for your future, for future generations, we can achieve new heights in Southern West Virginia. So please visit WWNRradio.com for additional information about Pendleton Community Bank and how you can help build Our Communiversity today for a brighter Southern West Virginia tomorrow.
You've been listening to Our Communiversity Today, sponsored by Pendleton Community Bank and Cucumber and Company, a production of West Virginia University Institute of Technology and Communiversity partner, Southern Communications in Beckley. For more on this program and contact information, visit our website at wwnrradio.com.